This week in Speedway sees the GBs showcase British GP, an event that should every year give British Speedway a shot in the arm. But does it? If so, how does it? Shouldn't the GPs help grassroots Speedway in some way? Answers on a postcard addressed to Only in Speedway, care of Brain Dead Idiot. Good evening and welcome to the Speedway Tavern. We have in the Speedway Tavern from El Mexico, Joseph.
Hey.
You're going to be getting all those jokes tonight, Joseph. We got Matt Buck.
Good evening.
And I've just realised I'm going to start calling you Matt Pass the Buck, because you've never heard that before, have you?
Oh, not yet.
And
I've heard worse.
Chris, not the guru, Webby Brown.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm after some grass routes for my breakfast.
Grass routes.
Just fancy a grass route.
Hey.
Hey.
Thank you for that. Yes.
No problem.
Pronunciation was never my strongest suite. Oh, there you go again. There we go again. Okay, gentlemen, have we all had a good week? That's a question for you in the room, by the way. Yes, I wasn't actually asking our listener then whether that was to you guys. Oh, it's gone. I've got something I was going to say then, and it was funny as well. So, yeah. Thank you very much. Actually, what I want to know is if there's anybody out there on the shout box, no clues, please, from anybody in the studio. I made a reference to Brain Dead Idiot, which was...
You look straight at me.
Yep, of course. Which was in the news this week. So, is there anybody out there for no points, because we have no points to give? Do they know what I'm talking about? So
does anybody know what you're talking about?
Nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Do you even know what you're talking about?
So we've got an interesting week coming up in Speedway. We've obviously got the Somerset Best Pairs.
Aye.
And we've also got a little thing called the British GP, and we'll have a chat about that in a while. But I sort of made a slightly controversial remark about should the GPs benefit British Speedway in some way. I have a quick straw poll of our fans out there, and maybe a straw poll of the guys in here a bit later when we've listened to everybody else's views, talking about which. If you want to give your views, you can come on the shout box using sports-radio.co.uk, and you can find the shout box there somewhere. It's there, isn't it?
Click on the top, it says chat.
Okay, there you go. And you can also get in touch with us via our Facebook page, which is...
Sorry, facebook.com/Brummies.
Can somebody give, every time his eyes close, can you just give him a kick, please? And on Twitter?
Sports Radio 1.
There we go. Okay. Simple.
Just like you. Simple. John Ellis said, watching on Facebook, miss my trips to Perry Bar.
Well, come down then. That's. I'm glad we've sorted that one out.
It's like an agony art show, isn't it?
It's certainly agony. It's certainly agony. Yes. Probably for the listener more than us, but hey. Chris says evening. Good evening, Chris. Oh, that's you, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Strange enough, yeah.
Okay, well, there we go. So, right, we've had a few interesting matches this week. First of all, Wolves have been at Leicester and had Leicester at home. So how would you like to fill us in on that one?
Well, the Leicester match away was obviously a defeat by 4. Not a full-strength Wolves team again. I think that's about the 5th or 6th away meeting now where we have another full-strength team away from home.
Can I just interject? Because I was reading the Poole team went with, I think, 6 riders that weren't their riders. It's not a Poole team, is it?
Well, it's a select team, isn't it, really? Basically fulfilling the fixture, I think, which is what we're doing at Swindon tonight, I think. So,
don't miss things like that.
I'll just before you start that, the reason John can't go is that he's only 15,000 kilometres from Bordeaux.
I think that's a poor excuse.
I think that's Depends which way you go. But,
I guess so.
You
Yeah.
say he's probably up in Scotland. You know? I don't. We all have it, but you have to get the videos, mate. You can order them online. All the matches are videoed, so you have to get hold of those. That's. See, I'm still doing my agony aunt thing. I'm still doing that.
You've helped so many people.
But I'd hate to be in that situation. But hey ho.
Back to Matt.
Yes, Matt. Sorry, Wolverhampton, Leicester, 4 points.
Defeat.
Yes.
Again, though, I think that's another meeting where we've at least got a point away from it, and that's obviously good to be picking up points on a regular basis. I think it's only,
Wasn't what you was asking for when you previewed.
I've said all along that if you want to win, if you want to be challenging for the title, you've got to be picking up maximum points at Leicester. Even with, we had Eunice Kilmaccorpin missing, Freddie Lindgren obviously missing as well. It was RR for Freddie, and we got 10 points I think from his rides. I think he would have probably got more than that, to be honest. But nonetheless, a point. Then obviously the return match on Monday, and Leicester, to be fair, they pushed us very hard all the way through. And at one point, then they possibly with a bit more luck, they might have been able to nick a point, more than.
Is that worrying
nick a
from
point
your
out
point
of it?
Yeah.
Well, I think we have plateaued out a little bit. Peter Adams said at Bellevue last night that we're not as dominant as we were in the early weeks of the season. Admittedly, as I say, we're not at full strength. But Leicester have got riders who go well at Monmore Green, so perhaps not a massive surprise. But at the end of the day, Wolves picked up the maximum points with a 10-point win. So yeah, obviously just strengthen our position at the top of the Elite League table. And obviously last night's meeting at Bellevue. Now, if you'd have asked me before the meeting, I would have been absolutely delighted to come away with a 2-point defeat.
Right.
But after the meeting, I thought we should have won it, really.
Okay.
We're 6 points up after 7 heats.
Right.
Bellevue, they were a bit off, to be honest. Bellevue, Matty Zagar didn't have the best of nights. Neither did Scott Nichols. He was besieged with engine troubles all evening. Craig Cook only got about 5 or 6 points as well. Right. So when your heat leaders aren't scoring like that, you probably would expect to come away from that with maybe a little bit more than a point. No, it's a good point. For me, still probably the favourites to win the league at the moment. But I think probably maybe a couple of points drifted away from Wolves that they could have got. It was a good performance. Freddie Lindgren again looking quick. Peter Carlson surprised me a little bit, 6 points. I thought Peter would struggle on a track like that. I thought he'd be stopping for oxygen, to be honest, but he rode really well. In fairness to Pete, though, he rides tracks like that in Poland, Sweden every other week, so he's obviously got experience of those tracks as well.
So talking of the track, verdict?
It was, again, there's been a lot of rave reviews about the new Bellevue track, and definitely there's a lot of lines on it that can be exploited.
Right.
I think it's a track that's going to be more about the machine than the ability of a rider.
So a Polish type track really is what we're...
Yeah, if you haven't got a fast motor around there, you're going to get found out. So you've got to be on it right the way. It's just raw speed all the way around it.
So eventually you would expect that to translate into home advantage, wouldn't you?
Well, Peter Adams said last night after the meeting that he thinks it might be a while before Bellevue are able to get any sort of advantage on the Bellevue track. And he's probably right, to be honest. A lot of riders are going to be getting a lot of experience around there. You've got the big meetings, you've got the World Cup coming up, of course, soon. So it's good for Bellevue that they've got this facility, and it is a fantastic facility. I'm really looking forward to going there later in the season. And it's something that they can really use as a springboard to kick on, because they've been in the doldrums for quite a few years now, Bellevue, but there's little signs now that maybe they're starting
a little bit like Wolverhampton.
I guess so, yeah. A little.
I said with a grin on my face.
Probably a little bit longer of a doldrum, to be honest, than we had at Wolves, but they've done well. They did well last season, and again, despite the fact that they didn't particularly ride that well, Bellevue last night, they still came away with 3 points. But again, another point. I think that's 17 matches now, and there's only 3 matches where we haven't picked up any points.
Right.
So that's pretty good going, to be honest.
Yeah, so, I mean, perhaps not a shoe-in for the playoffs yet, but maybe not far.
Not far away, I don't think. I think both Wolves and Bellevue will be in the playoffs. Yeah, it could be. Who knows? It could end up being the final.
So, okay, let's do a bit of dreaming. So, Wolverhampton win the league. I told you to give him a kick if he closed his eyes. So let's just, for instance, imagine that Wolverhampton win the league, which at the moment, as far as the actual league itself is concerned, not the playoffs, so the top, so they get choice of who. So you're looking at perhaps Wolverhampton, Bellevue. You still think Pool's going to make it? Swindon for the 4th place.
I think Lakeside will get 4th.
Lakeside, okay. So who do Wolverhampton choose?
That's a difficult pick, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I think of the 3, probably Pool. I'd pick.
How the mighty have fallen, eh? They don't ride Wolverhampton particularly well normally, do they,
Well,
Pool?
Pool either always win or are nowhere at Monmouth Green.
Right.
I mean, we beat them by 20 points earlier in the season.
Okay. And Lakeside's a problem, of course, because of their home track advantage, aren't they?
Yeah, Lakeside are probably the ones I'd want to avoid of the 3.
You want somebody to knock them out, basically.
Yeah, so
a bit like Birmingham and Eastbourne.
probably, if you're going to be in the playoffs, the best place to finish is probably 2nd, because then you don't have to make the choice then. There's maybe not so much...
I think you always want to be in a position of making the choice, don't you?
Well, you say that, but whenever we've been in the playoffs in the past and have finished 2nd, Chris Van Straten and Peter Adams have always said that they think it's better to finish 2nd, because then you know that you're going to get what's left, and you know what you've got to do. That's an opinion. That's the opinion they've got. Whether it's the right opinion, I'm not so sure, but. It
doesn't work for me, I must admit.
Of the 3, I mean, if you're going by my reckoning of it being Wolves, Bellevue, Pool, and Lakeside in the top 4, then probably of the 3 I'd pick Pool at the moment.
Swindon will make the playoffs, says Martin Guest. They are coming on strong.
I've got a feeling they will make the playoffs.
And of course, we're racing them tonight, so.
I actually got a feeling that they're going to make the playoffs and do that above Pool. I've just got this feeling that Pool are going to leave it just a little bit too late. That they are leaving it just a little bit too late.
You're not greedy, though, are you? So.
No, we shall see. We shall see. I hand on heart, I would love Wolverhampton to win the thing. So how about that from a Brummie fan? That's not. Yeah. So
you will.
There you go.
We'd also bring the trophy in here. So if we
that would be cool.
Good, yeah.
That would be cool.
We could do a Jim Bone impression. Good enough. This is what you could have won 3 years ago. No, that was a bit nasty. Below the belt.
I don't think I want you here anymore. Right, okay. So, shall we have a look at the Elite League table? I'm guessing that you'd be quite happy to look at that. So you look at the Elite League table, and I'm saying I think Swindon's going to get through. You got Wolverhampton on 16 matches at the top with 35 points, and then you got Swindon again with 16 matches at second place.
It's 36 now for Wolves, obviously, because that doesn't take into account last night. So.
Yeah. But they're not that far behind then in second place. So,
no, it's close. I mean, even if Swindon pick up maximum points tonight, they won't be able to overhaul our lead at the top. It's a nice position to be in.
Yeah, I've got an up-to-date league table in front of me now because Webby's actually woke up. So you've actually got...
I'm going to actually try and get our listeners and viewers to see this snippet as well.
Oh, okay, that'd be fun. So Bellevue are on 15 matches with 32 points, and they're now in second place.
Mm-hmm.
And Swindon in third place with 16 matches and 31 points, and Lakeside in that fourth place with 17 matches and 28 points. Pool in that fifth place, we need to mention, they've only had 12 matches so far.
Yeah, they've got quite a bit to do, so...
24 points, so it's touch and go, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think you can probably rule Coventry out now. I think their defeat on Monday really has finished off there. They're going to have to pretty much be unbeaten for the rest of the season, and I just can't see that with Coventry.
They've done it before.
They've done it before, but I don't think they're going to do it this time.
No.
I just don't think they're strong enough.
We've got some news actually, which we'll have a look in a bit about Coventry, and apparently they're going to be getting some news in the next couple of days about where they're
Their
going to be.
future.
Yeah, their future. That's a
Well, giving our
perfect
fingers
way of
crossed, of
saying
course,
it.
that it's positive news for them.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But I'll read you that. So let's have a look at the averages in the Elite League. Somebody we know very well at number 1, Jason Doyle.
I mean, superb season.
Isn't he
really,
just?
really matured in the last couple of years, I think.
Do you think he's quite pleased that he's moved from Leicester to Swindon?
I think so. Yeah.
yeah. Niels Christian Everson in second place again.
Well,
having a great season.
considering, of course, he opted initially not to come back over here. I think it's to his credit that he's stayed at Kings Lynn to help them out.
To help him out, yeah.
And he's certainly delivering on the track with his score so far.
Andreas Johnson in third place. He's another returnee to the Elite League, isn't he? So
Yeah, he started quite slowly last year, but I think really he was getting used to some of the tracks again because he hadn't ridden on them for quite some time. But you know, AJ's a classy rider. You know, once he got going, he was always going to be very, very potent in the Elite League.
and Hans Andersen in fourth place, having a good season for him.
Good,
in
yeah, very
recent
good season for
times.
Hans Andersen. Yeah, and you know, by all accounts, a good rider as well to have in the pits for your team. So.
In fifth place, somebody you know very well, Freddie Lindgren. It's a pretty good season.
Yeah, he's having a really good season, to be fair to Freddie. And after boys standards a pretty woeful 2015, it's good to see him back on some sort of form that we've seen from him.
And he's beating Chris Holder into sixth place, so that's sort of.
Well, Chris Holder's been a bit up and down, hasn't he? I mean,
yes,
he was pretty dismal at Wolves a few months ago.
you said that with a smile on your face again.
No, not really. Well, maybe.
And interesting for me, probably the find of the season for you guys, Sam Masters comes in at 7th, and then Kyle Newman at 8th. This is
bizarre.
This is the fast track system working so well, isn't it? Yeah, and we go all the way down to Peter Swiderski in 20th place, but. Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm saying that this is the fast track system doing what it's doing at the moment, but he's the only one from the fast track system that's in the top 20. So, and currently, I mean, we wish him well because he's broken the collarbone again, he's injured again, and second time this year.
Well, Dingle's woken up.
Hello, Dingle.
He's had to go to old school. He can't watch the video thanks to my teenagers using the same amount of bandwidth as China. Runs over.
Thank you for that,
and Martin Guest is saying that I have the perfect face for radio.
I don't think you get any argument in this studio. So
well, there you go.
It's just shame. It's just a shame you haven't got
Cheers,
the perfect.
Martin.
Just a shame you haven't got the perfect voice for radio. But
Yeah, that's right. Anyone want to clean my car? Says Dingle. Looks like I have the Paris Dakar Rally in a storm.
yeah, we'll come on to the track about the track yesterday.
It was a good link, actually. So.
Yeah,
There you go.
no, yeah. Well,
Oh, it isn't just thrown together this show.
Oh no!
go on then. Let's do
actually
that.
it
Let's,
was.
I was going to look at the Premier League table and so on, but
All right, hang on.
well, have a quick look. Glasgow, Berwick, Sheffield, Peterborough. There you go. It's the top 40 in the Premier League, and I think it's probably going to stay that sort of whereabouts. Although Somerset will probably
Got a lot of matches.
Yeah, they have, haven't they? Yeah.
And Edinburgh as well. I think.
So what we're saying is we don't know. I think Somerset's going to be towards the top of that league.
You can never
for
write
sure.
Somerset off.
Yeah.
They've got a good record in the Premier League. So
Yeah. Okie dokie. So let's get on to, well, first of all, the little matter of Birmingham versus Eastbourne. The Guru got it wrong.
I did, didn't I? Yeah.
Only just though.
Yeah.
We should have won it, really.
well, I don't want to be pedantic, but it was actually Eastbourne against Birmingham. But
But you are going to be pedantic. That's what you're saying. I stand corrected. Does that mean we win now?
well, if you want,
I'll take it.
Does it feel like a win to go there and lose by? Was it 2?
2 points, yeah. It was disappointing because of that Heat 14, and Graham Drury made a big call, I thought, putting Jack Smith in place of JPB, and it paid off until the last corner, I think, when he fell off. When we was on a 5-1, that 5-1 would have won us the match. That would have been it. That would have been the match over at that point. Damn. But you know,
It's an excellent result for
yeah,
Rayner.
absolutely, and bodes well should. I mean, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Are Eastbourne going to get into the top four? It's squeaky bum time for them a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. They're not.
They're not shooing, are they?
They're not flying as well as they were in 2015.
And it's interesting that Kent are not flying as well as they have been.
You wonder whether that losing that National Trophy final against Birmingham has maybe knocked a little bit of the wind out of them.
Maybe because they've been to Kings Lynn, of course, and lost at Kings Lynn.
Yeah.
So, you're looking at Kent and Eastbourne. Really, realistically, you would expect those to be our main opposition should we get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think we put paid to Bellevue last night as a force as far as beating Birmingham in the finals. I think they are going to get into the finals though, so that's probably who we're going to pick, you would think. Although let's wait and see how we do on their track.
Will be an extra visit to the National League Stadium, of course, if Birmingham did pick Bellevue in the final.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I help you, Chris?
Probably not. Ian Faultless says JPB was slower all night. Putting JS was the right call. Nobody more gutted than me watching it right by the side of Dirty Dave Kennett. LOL. By the way.
Okay, LOL. Okay, who was that again?
Ian Faultless.
Hello, Ian. Not so faultless.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
It's not like you to be funny.
No, and that wasn't like me to be. Okay, so while we're thinking about it, we've got some matches on the go tonight that we're going to have a look at, haven't we? Can you tell our viewer who we've got?
I'm not ready for that. Okay.
You are ready for that?
Which one do you want to go to?
No, we're not going to do the results. Just want to know who we're following tonight. Swindon versus Wolves.
Swindon versus Wolves, yeah.
Ipswich versus Rye House. Redcar versus Scunthorpe. Yeah. So we've got 3 matches. And I imagine you're quite anxious to know what's happening in that first match.
Well, considering we haven't got a full team, then again.
Well, let's have a look, is it? We'll get that up while we'll carry on talking about Birmingham.
I think no Carlson, no Kilmacorpy, no Torsell, no Max Clegg. So it's a Wolves select team. Yeah, let's have a look.
So, great result, I think we all agree, for Birmingham at Eastbourne. Shame, but what about Jack Smith at the moment? He's just absolutely flying.
He's going well at the moment, yeah.
And how brilliant it is that we've still got him at reserve. I mean, that was the difference between us and...
That's the bonus, really, isn't it?
Because Dan Bewdley's moved straight up to number 1.
Didn't mean to do that.
So the score, not doing too
bad. Badly.
Score is 16 to Swindon and 13 to Wolves. And you've had 4 points from 2 rides from Peter Carlson's ride replacement. Scott Nichols isn't doing so good for you. Nikolai Clint's doing okay. So, yeah, not bad.
I'll just say about Nikolai Clint, I've seen 2 meetings with him this week and he hasn't moved at the start once. Well done, Nikolai.
Okay. Has he actually got out of the start?
He's got out of the start, yeah. So he rode well last night, to be fair to him. So.
Okay, fantastic. So we'll keep our eye on that. We'll have a look at some of the other ones as well in a moment. So it's come on to last night's match. I believe I'm the only one in this studio that actually saw the match.
Well, looking at the dust all over you, they'd obviously...
Well, I was on the centre green, so I was probably the only one in the stadium that saw.
He normally looks a scruffy git.
I didn't want to say that, but...
I mean, this is coming on to Dingle's...
I thought that you say, Chris.
This is coming on to Dingle's
from
Can I just
isn't
mention, how was I supposed to do the interviews if I didn't see the match?
No, you can't. So, anyway...
Flying through the air at times is Smithy, said Paul Wood.
Okay, well, first of all, let's... I was talking to your dad, actually, Brian Buck, before the match, and he said that when he turned up...
Nice bit of name dropping there. So.
Yeah. You've just totally thrown me now.
Sorry.
Yeah, he was saying that when he arrived at the track, I mean, Arthur had got the hose out. I hope it was the hose anyway. And he was watering the track. Shall I get my coat?
It's gone down now, hasn't it?
Shall I get my coat?
He was watering the track, and
he was absolutely swamped in water, and he was sort of thinking, I think he'd overwatered it, Arthur. And then about half an hour later, he walked back on the track and
said, "Hello, Arthur."
It looked like, he said he could see it right there. It was going to be slick, which it was. I mean, there is a theory that for National League meetings, slicker's probably better because you're not going to get quite so many falls. and I think perhaps that was proven a little bit yesterday. It was, once it got going, a decent meeting, some decent racing, particularly off one Mr. Jack Smith, who is really full of confidence at the moment, and
that's
he's
good to
just
know,
got
because
no
he was having a bit of a bad run a few weeks ago, wasn't he? When he was sort of dropping a few silly points, but he seems to have got his act together a little bit now. Which is
the thing about him is he just does not appear to have any fear at all, which I guess is good.
Yep.
You don't want to take that from him.
To be fair, I thought the track was the best it's been all season in terms of being smooth and consistent. Dingle.
Yeah, it was certainly consistent and it was certainly smooth.
I think that's been a criticism, really, isn't it? Because the track's been different every week.
Yeah.
So,
but by the same token, I think the look on Tom Perry's face at the end of the meeting. I mean, you interviewed him. He wasn't particularly happy with the track being that slick.
Yeah, he wasn't impressed.
But then again, if they'd tried to dig it up with it being that dry and them not having any water because the water bowser had broken down, it would have been even dustier. It wouldn't have produced any more grip if there's no moisture in the track. So I think they had to keep it slick just for that. Really,
it was Rye House dusty, was it?
It was Rye House dusty. Yeah. We were the new Rye House. Yesterday, but you know what? It was okay. It produced some great racing. They managed to get some water on in the interval, and that did improve the racing. Gave Jack Smith the chance to make some outside runs. My life, didn't he? He made some great. The best one for me was the one that he fell off, which was in heat 15, and he was behind Matt Williamson, I think it was, and. He swooped round him as if he was standing still. Unfortunately, I think he was carrying just a little bit too much speed going into the third bend and lost it. But do you know what? I'm happy, as long as he doesn't get injured, of course. I'm happy for him to try that because he's enough learning a lot by doing all this stuff. So,
what was the crowd like last night?
Well, let's put it this way: we were up against Bellevue Wolverhampton on the tally, so there weren't going to be many Bellevue supporters.
Were there any there?
I don't think so. Do you see any Bellevue supporters there?
Not really. No.
And
a bit strange having them both teams rolling on the same night. So,
well,
especially when the
my understanding is that was down to Sky.
Yeah.
So that they changed it after. And also, there's a little matter of Andy Murray in the quarterfinals going to 5 sets against Sunga. Bless him. And he's Scottish. Come on.
Well, he's British at the moment until he loses. So.
He's still Scottish. And then the little matter of Wales versus Portugal in the Euros. And they're Welsh.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So's Graham Drury. So.
Yeah, he wasn't watching it, was he? I bet you he was catching a sneaky look. I'll have to ask him. So yeah, we were up against it as far as the crowds were concerned. Really,
it's a shame because it was a good weather as well. The weather was quite a nice day yesterday.
It was a nice day, nice weather. I'm just hoping next week's match is Coventry. That should be a decent draw. Although, how much we won them by, I bet you we don't win them by as much at home as we did.
That's great English, that is, isn't it? Win them, so.
Yes, English, it's a thing.
Just a couple to catch up on. Has Adam's time from last season been beaten, firstly?
Nope. It came close to last night with Dan Beardley in the first heat.
Paul Wood said the crowd was poor as well. Crowd was poor.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there were reasons for it, so let's not start panicking. There were reasons for it. It's a shame that one man and his dog were there to watch them parade the national trophy, but I think we was always going to be up against it in those circumstances.
Dingle says, why prepare it just for Tom Perry? Everybody else loved it. If anybody stayed away to watch Andy Murray, they can stay away from now on.
No, they can't. No, they can't. We need every single bum on seats. I don't care. They can't, no, so, no. I was talking to Dingle last night, and Dingle, I just wanted to say I got it right. Because he told me that they would put Dan Beardley in heat 15, and I said no, they wouldn't. They put Payne, and I was right. I was right. I'm the guru. New guru. So yeah, that's a new thing. So yeah, there you go. A great win, great point against Eastbourne. A much bigger win than I expected. I think they've weakened now not having Dan Beardley at reserve and going straight in at number 1. And Yeah, as young Joseph has just reminded me, we managed to catch up with a few after the match yesterday. And are you ready to go on this?
We're going to try. We're going to try.
Okay, let me just.
It's slightly different.
Let me just.
It may work or it may not.
Yeah, let me just give a caveat. We are, as you're all aware, because we keep telling you, trying new things on Facebook, and we're trying different ways of making the same thing work. We're going to try something a bit different today. It's either going to work or it's not going to work, and you're either going to see Graham Drury and hear him, or you're not. But this was what Graham Drury had to say after the match. Are you ready there, sir?
It'll just be coming up shortly. Yeah, hopefully. No, you won't need it.
Don't need it.
No.
Graham, one trophy down, two to go. Are you proud of this group of lads?
Yeah, very proud. But it wasn't 2 to go. We've got the pace to think about the goals to think about the knockouts on the league. So, the season only just started in many respects. But we built up on healthy league tonight, and hopefully we go to Bellevue and all and defend that league.
And we managed to beat Kent, even though many people thought with just a 4-point lead. And then we went to Eastbourne and almost won that. How does that seem to be?
It's a good team. Any team that could go to Kent and win and take Eastbourne to a last league decider, is doing well. So we need to keep away from the injuries, of course we do. But if we can manage to do that, I'm sure by the end of the season, hopefully we'll have a few more trophies in the cabinet.
And then, do you have any comments on the decision in Heat 15?
I've got lots of comments I'd like to say, but if I said them, I would be fined by the governing body. So I think the least said about that, the better.
Okay, thanks for your time.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm slightly surprised with that interview actually, because I didn't. There's obviously a different opinion about Heat 15 than the one I had. So, what was wrong with Heat 15, Joseph? I didn't catch anything wrong with it.
Quite a few people thought that they noticed that said he was under power.
Oh right, of course. Yes.
People were saying he wasn't. He was still pushing his bike.
Yeah,
so he's still trying to get going. So.
It was touch and go. Just for those in the studio that don't know what that conversation was about, we had the situation where their rider Lee Payne had come off on bend 2 by himself, and then Jack Smith went to go round Matt Williamson, got round him but fell off. The red lights went on and Jack Smith was excluded, and a lot of people's opinions were that Lee Payne should have been excluded, but the referee said he was under power but if he was very quick. I mean, I couldn't tell from where I was because I was too busy watching Ben 3, but
it didn't seem like it from where I was.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was, well, possibly he got that one wrong. So, but there you go. So yeah, can I just say, great interview by the way, Joseph.
No nonsense again from Graham Drury. So
yeah, and we're going to be missing Joseph next week.
Not me.
No one likes you.
No one's going to miss me next week or the week after.
Where are you off to, Joe?
Mexico.
You're off to Mexico for 10 days. What are you doing?
I'm helping to build a house for a family in need.
Well, there you go.
I swear I'm a good person.
Good man.
Good man.
And I'm going to Turkey and I'm going to lie on the beach, do nothing.
You wasn't supposed to be telling us that, by the way.
All right, sorry.
Dingle says, I red flagged Williamson to stop him starting his bike. Fact, he was not under power, but only just. How could the ref have been watching 2 parts of the track at once? Well, that will bring me on to one of my favourite
Who was the
topics.
referee? Do you remember?
I can't remember, but I bet you Dingle will remember. I've always said that there should be a referee on the track as well. Not to make decisions, but to be there for the ref to turn around and say, I'm not sure about this, what was your opinion? That sort of thing.
Like a fourth official.
Yeah, like
sort of, yeah.
I've always felt that. It could be a trainee referee. So it's not a referee that's got any power, particularly, other than to help. Because you do see things on the track that you can't possibly see, from the top. And like that. So, it would be his position that when a rider falls off, that he watches the rider that falls off. So the referee doesn't have to.
I think a lot of referees, in my opinion, don't exercise common sense, to be honest. not just with falls but with other things as well.
Yeah,
When you see riders move at the start and punish themselves and the referee pulls it back,
quite.
basically
Yeah.
gives them another chance to get
I've
it
always
up,
said that if a rider doesn't touch the tape, that's it. Let it go. That's it. If this rider anticipates a start, well, that's his job, as far as I'm concerned. And 9 times out of 10, it's a rider that wouldn't normally be out in front, beating a heat leader that he wouldn't normally beat, and that's quite exciting.
Oh,
So,
good, she did. So
I think you let it go, but
I think it should be up to the rider yourself. If you want to move, move.
Yeah.
If you want to stand still or sit still, sit still.
as long as I agree with the don't touch the tapes, and don't break the tapes. I think that's great because that has the potential of making the starts quicker and the meeting flow forward. As long as you don't keep pulling it back because you think, well, he might have moved a little bit.
Margaret Vardy,
Margaret Vardy.
says Ian, and also says Dingle. She has a lot of knockers.
We could be.
That was an open goal. That was.
This is turned into Carry On Speedway or something. I don't know. Oh gosh. So yeah, things looking great for Birmingham at the moment. Jack Smith in particular. JPB had a great pass yesterday as well. That he just sort of hunted the guy down and went up the inside of him. Very mature. Guy's only 15. To talk about Dan Bewdley. Now, I think you and me both last time he was at Birmingham had the opinion of it'd be interesting to see what happens when he doesn't gate, because he's very quick, and he got 2 wins, one with the fastest time of the season on a very slick track. It's very smooth, very quick when he gets out in front, but I just get this feeling. Now, this isn't a criticism, okay, because the guy's 15 years old. He hasn't been on a speedway bike very long. He's learning.
That's
What
right.
he's there for. He's still learning. He's at number 1, which is probably an unfortunate place for him to be learning, but he's earned that position. He doesn't seem to know quite what to do when there are riders around him, and he certainly hasn't worked out how to use the lines on the track to build up speed and momentum to try and get past riders.
You'll learn that at Bellevue, I think.
Well, yeah, that's. So yeah, that was interesting, and I wasn't surprised that he wasn't put out in Heat 15, as I said. So very fast, very smooth rider, but
Definitely
at
got
the moment,
potential.
do you know who he reminds me of? I'm not sure whether you'll remember Dave Jessup.
Not quite.
No.
Just before my time,
Right.
though. Just
He reminds me very much of Dave Jessup. I mean, he's very diminutive, like Dave Jessup was, and Dave Jessup did rely on his gating quite a lot. So, hello.
Roger Finn says, can we have a bit of painted sun in between banter? Oh, we like Roger.
We do like Roger, but maybe we'll finish the show with some painted
Yeah,
sun
yeah.
if you can get that.
Paul Wood
that.
said, you could come, Joe, you could come to Netherton instead of Mexico if you want to do some building work. My place is falling apart.
Well, let's think about this. Mexico, sun,
Netherton.
Netherton.
Maybe not. Maybe
It's
not.
too close to Crowley, I think.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, there is that as well. Yeah. Let's pay. So yeah, Netherton. Yeah, I mean, all you need really.
You're only coming back with the green and white scarf on, is
No.
Also, that it's harder to claim I'm a good person.
Well, there is that. Well, then, to be fair, all you need in Netherton is a decent storm, and it's going to cost about £30,000-40,000 worth of improvements anyway.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
there you go. I believe there was something on the shout box. Then I was just gonna look at.
Talking about gating tarts. Not
Struggling
you.
at Premier League. Okay, yeah, he is struggling at Premier League level, and it is a bit harsh to judge him, as Dingle says. But so is Zach. He's struggling at Premier League level as well.
It's a big
so
step up in fairness from National even to
It's
Premier
too
League.
big a step. It's too big a step. National League needs to perhaps move up a little bit, and Premier League needs to move down a little bit. I think the Premier League and the Elite League are getting closer and closer, because I think the Elite League's dumbing down a little bit. And a lot of the riders that are now Premier League or Elite League riders anyway, my guess is that's... Anyway, we've got more interviews. We really need to hear from Zach. Are we ready for that?
I think we might be. I'm not sure. No, we're not.
No, we're not. We will be ready for Zach in a moment, who didn't have the best of nights, but didn't have the worst of nights. He improved. I think maybe the track caught him out. I'm not entirely sure, but Are we going to go with that?
Doesn't want to play that one.
Okay.
No, sorry.
Okay, well, that will certainly go up on our Facebook page. And we also spoke to Tom. Are we able to get a hold of
That's
Tom?
not going to work on. I don't think.
Okay.
Sorry.
So yeah, sorry about that. As I said, we're trying new things, and it's all a bit sort of elastic bands and
You will still be
sellotape
able
at the
to find
moment.
them.
It's going on the Facebook page. They're
Yeah.
all going on the
Yeah.
Facebook page. So
And our YouTube.
So let's have a look at the National League table. 9 matches at the top, 26 points, Birmingham. Their plus-minus difference is 132, and Kent are 117, so we're way ahead on that. So that's good stuff. Eastbourne, 10 matches, 24 points, so 2 points behind us, but 1 match more. Cradley, 11 matches, 22 points. And Kent, 6 matches, 19 points. And Bellevue, 9 matches and 18 points.
So we keep writing Cradley off, but they're third in the league.
Well, shall we talk about that? Why they're third in the league at the moment? Because they've got some 4 free points, haven't they, for doing nothing? And that's that. And I know Eastbourne are up in arms against it. I think they probably think they're fighting them and Bellevue for that 4th place, probably. It's not right, is it? They've been given 4 points. Nobody else has been given 4 points against Mildenhall.
I think if you do that, you start something off as a president, don't you?
But, you know,
To me,
if Mildenhall have done something wrong, you punish Mildenhall. You don't reward Cradley for Mildenhall doing something wrong.
No.
And that's essentially what's happened. They've rewarded Cradley for Mildenhall doing something wrong. That's not right. It's just there's no.
Well, if you're going to start doing that, a lot of times you never get a meeting because the away team think, oh, if we don't ride, we might get the points gifted to us.
I mean, we ought to explain for any out there that don't know. Mildenhall were not happy with Cradley having a guest for somebody that they felt should be there, which sort of is de rigueur in National League, unfortunately. Instead of protesting about it and going through the channels, they sort of cancelled the meeting at the last minute. We're not going to race against them, we're cancelling it. They say they tried to reinstate the meeting. Cradley said, no, you didn't. That's a sort of a matter of opinion, but they shouldn't have done what they did. It's against the rules.
Well, we know there's a bit of needle between Mildenhall and Cradley anyway.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, when we won the league there, so many Mildenhall supporters came up to me at the end of the match and said, we're so glad it wasn't Cradley. So was I, of course.
Of course, yeah, so was I. So.
I'm starting to feel sorry for Cradley, and I don't like that.
Don't.
What's going on?
So Mildenhall were given, or rather, it's Kevin Jolly, isn't it? Was given. Was it Kevin Jolly? I can't remember.
Kevin Jolly, yeah.
Was given a massive fine and told he can't be at matches and so on for a while.
Though, isn't he, Kevin Jolly? It all seems to be getting quite a bit much for him at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. Which I guess is fair enough, and it was a massive fine. I can't remember how much it was offhand.
We criticise promoters quite a lot on the show, don't we? But it can be a lonely place sometimes. I think being a promoter, and there's a lot of pressure on.
I don't criticise promoters as individuals. I think collectively is that they've got it wrong. They get it wrong.
They don't always help themselves, admittedly, but
that's that. So. And part of the punishment for Mildenhall was giving Cradley 4 points. But that's not just punishing Mildenhall, that's punishing all the other teams that have got to go to Mildenhall.
Why not just duck points off Mildenhall if you're going to do something like that?
Exactly. The punishment should be against Mildenhall.
Give points to Cradley.
So, wrong, and we should all say so loudly.
Yeah.
Although, I have to be honest, if it keeps Eastbourne out of the but that's another thing. We'll have a look at the averages. The top 20. You got Adam Ellis at number 1. Is anybody surprised?
Not really.
No, okay. Danny Ayres at number 2. Is anybody surprised? Max Clegg at 3. Be about sort of what you're looking at.
I think so.
Luke Bowen at 4 from Kent. That's possibly a bit of a surprise.
Well, he's got a lot of experience, to be fair to Luke Bowen, so not
Robert Branford at 5.
Well, he started the season late, didn't he, Robert Branford? So I'm starting to get into the swing of things. But he's a quality rider at the end of the day.
Ashley Morris at 6.
Mm-hmm.
So Cradley have got 2 riders in the top 6.
Yeah.
We haven't got one Birmingham rider in yet. It's how are we winning this league?
But which one's top of the league and which one's third?
Yeah, well, exactly. Was that? I sort of heard in your voice then, but you didn't say it. Sort of no. That's what. 7 Ben Morley, 8 John Armstrong, 8. Well, yeah. Jake Knight at 9, and then in 10th place, Tom Perry. So it's a long way down before we get to Tom Perry.
It surprised me because he's had a good season. I know he's missed the last few meetings through injury.
Yeah. Hello, we got.
Whenever you're ready. Yeah.
Okay, who was that? Sorry.
This is Zach.
Oh, we've managed to get hold of Zach. So here we go. We've got Zach's interview coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here you go then. Here you go.
So, how did the conditions of the track today affect your ride?
Well, a little bit seems to be different every weekend, so just got to get used to it.
And did the watering at the interval help at all with that?
I think it needed a bit more you can use on the outside, so so once there's a bit more water down, it's sort of dusty and use a bit of the outside then, but just struggled to pass kind of thing.
And how does it feel to now be able to say that we have a trophy?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. First thing I've got to say to Joseph is you forgot to put the sock on, didn't you?
No.
It was very windy.
I know.
Okay.
I think that was actually the bikes, not the wind.
No, it might have been. Yeah, that is a bit of that's Speedway for you. But so I mean, Zach wasn't overly impressed with the track.
No. But it wasn't an overly impressive track that night, was it?
Well, I don't know. I couldn't say. But he did improve as the night got on, and I think when we can get water, I think that sort of track is probably the way to go, without the dust and with just a little bit more dirt on, and a lot more water on, of course. So yeah, there we go.
Adam Ellis was half a lap in front of anyone at Eastbourne, says Ian.
That's a surprise.
Yeah, well, I think that. Let's. I got nothing against Adam Ellis. He's been given an opportunity and he's taking it. A little dicky bird told me, somebody who's I can't really mention, but they are 100% certain that Adam Ellis is on more per point in the National League than he is in the Elite League. It's interesting, isn't it?
That'd be very interesting if that's true.
Yeah, that's what he told me. But Adam Ellis is almost a heat leader now in the Elite League on merit. I mean, he's doing really, really well. I mean, he's just and he's only just come back from, is it broken collarbone?
Yeah, he broke his collarbone against Wolves.
So, you know, it's no surprise. What I don't understand, I do not understand, and nobody has explained it. But then, this is one of my big bugbears with the BSPA. They don't explain things. We was told that his average was too high for him to come back to Birmingham. I'm not sure he would have come back to Birmingham. I'm not sure Graham Drury would have wanted to use that bigger a slice of the averages on one person.
Zach rides on grass, beaches everything. Come on, says Dingle.
Yeah, well, he's down on confidence, but he's getting there. He's getting better. He will. I've got every confidence in the lad. They all need to come through this sort of thing. It's a test. So, where was I going with that? What was I talking? Oh, Adam Ellis. He's too good for the National League.
He's too good for the National League.
Yeah, he's just too good. And you know, why were we not allowed to sign him? And then once again, Eastbourne are. That rings a bell somewhere, you know.
You suggested that there's helping other teams.
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm asking the question why. That's what I'm doing. I'm not suggesting anything.
Like I said,
the problem is once you get a vacuum and somebody asks that question but nobody answers, people make up their own answers.
Well,
Maybe
it's
true,
like,
may
well, it's
not
like
be.
I said last week. I mean, the big thing that you want to see in Speedway is fairness.
Anyway, I can see you twitching. Shall we have a look at how Swindon Walls is going?
First,
Why not?
before that,
Well, we
Yeah.
can do
can we
it.
go
Yeah.
to the interview we did
Okay,
with
we've
Tom
got
that
we've got
one?
Tom Perry, and here's what Tom had to say.
So, how did the condition of the track affect your riding tonight?
It's a rubbish night, really. The track was rubbish. It wasn't racing, it was follow the lead. It was only really a motor come alive. But I got to go last ride, so it didn't really matter for me.
And you mentioned there it started to become a bit better towards the end. Was that, would you say, due to the watering at half time?
Possibly, I'm not really sure. It was me, I would have put water on earlier and produced a bit more dirt, which I've been doing like now.
And on a bit of a more positive note, how does it feel to be able to say we now have a trophy?
Yeah, it's good, obviously. It was not going down the check. Really went forward, so really tonight was a big enough lead. And then you just get to go out there and to be honest. Big enough lead.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, I think reading between the lines there, it's safe to say that Tom wasn't happy about not having his last line, his last ride. It was a massive call by Graham Drury to put Jack Smith in place of his captain.
Maybe Grandra was a bit conscious of the fact that he's not ridden for a while and didn't really want to.
Maybe he's conscious of the
The
fact
match
that
was
it's
won, so
but
at that point,
the match no the leg was won. The match hasn't yet been won, and that's probably what he's conscious of as much as anything. My guess is that
When's
Bell.
the second leg just out of interest? Has he not been arranged yet?
There is a date for it. I can't remember offhand. Perhaps we'll have a look at that in a moment. While I'm chatting about this, you can perhaps get the Swindon Wolves result up. I think a Bellevue track will be a Tom Perry track at this level.
I think he'll relish
So,
that. To be honest.
yeah. So that's going to be interesting. Swindon 30. Oh dear. Wolves 23.
I didn't see that one.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not bad. Well, really. You're not going to get any points out of this one, are you?
Just the one heat winner so far. That was Freddie Lincoln in heat 5.
And Carl Howarth has
Back at his forward track, of course. A bit better from Carl Howarth. He's been a disappointment this season for me.
You've not
Probably
done too,
really-
but you've not done too bad out of Peter Carlson's rides. You've had 6 points from 3 rides. That's not
Yeah.
bad going. So
Wolves could still get a point out of that, but I think it's going to be
tough. You've
it'll
got
be
Jason
tougher.
Doyle on a maximum. Justin Sedgman's doing well this year, isn't he?
Yes. Josh Grosnick's unbeaten as well. I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah. So
Stefan Nielsen unbeaten, so that might.
Heat 15's looking difficult.
That might offer obviously with
And Heat
I think
13.
one rider in the reserves race for Swindon might.
Yeah.
Unless that's been run, that might have been run actually. So
Yeah. So I know. Whoops.
still top of the league though. Just
We'll have a quick look at some of the other matches that are going on around as well, and we've got 5 minutes left, so we'll have to have a quick look at that. We'd like to have a little chat about what's happening at on the Speedway Tavern over the next 2 weeks.
Okay, quickly before you go there, it's
Okay.
Ipswich 35, Rye House Rockets 25.
Ben Barker and Danny King on maximums. We haven't even spoke about the Grand Prix yet.
No, that's it.
So we'll have a quick chat about that now. Let's put that right. Who's going to win it?
Greg Hancock.
Greg
I
Hancock.
think
It's his
he-
sort of track,
he loves
isn't
that.
it?
He loves
does
racing
like
at Cardiff. He's always said that he treats it like a home GP because obviously they're not being a GP in America, and he's always got a big following there.
He has, yeah.
And his record there is excellent. And
Ty Woffington's
Ty
not.
doesn't.
not so
I
excellent.
think Ty loves the fact that there's a great atmosphere and there's so many people cheering for him. But I don't think it's his sort of track.
Right, Chris Harris, who seems to have been doing rather well.
He had a good
recently,
GP in
yeah.
Prague.
We know he can ride Cardiff, obviously.
I'm trying to believe now. It's nearly 10 years now since
2007.
2007, yeah,
Yeah.
from his first year back.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't back Chris Harris to win it. I think you might have a sniff of the.
In that case, I'll go for Chris Harris.
Go on then.
Okay, says the guru. I'm going to go for Jason Doyle
Might be a good outside bet.
because
Not all
he's pretty good trapper, isn't he?
That's right. Niels Everson won it last year, of course, so he can't be.
Interesting. Okay, so this is our big showcase event. There should be all now. Okay, I know we're against like Wimbledon and F1 and the Euros. It's really difficult to get column inches at the moment, but there should be something in the papers by now, shouldn't there?
There has been in the past little snippets.
I mean, there is something in, and we haven't got time to read it now, but there is something in the Telegraph, which is a Ty Woffenden interview. You know, so but that's Ty Woffenden.
I mean, I love Cardiff. I love the whole spectacle of it. Might not always be the best racing, but it's a great occasion. It's sort of a real.
Are you going this year?
I'm going. Yeah, me and my dad are going. But I wonder whether it would make any difference if it was at Wembley. With regards to the national press,
yeah,
I don't think it will ever go back to Wembley.
No.
I think that's part of the dream, to be honest.
I don't think football would allow it. If I'm honest, I think that's the problem.
I prefer it to Cardiff anyway. And my dad doesn't. I mean, my dad went to many World Finals at Wembley, and he's always said Cardiff's much better.
Right. Okay. Well, there you go. So I was going to talk about what was happening over the next 2 weeks. I'm aware that we're running out of time. Yeah. Well, it will appear as if nothing much is happening, but lots of stuff's going to be going on beneath the surface as we take 2 weeks out to work out how to get this Facebook business running a little bit better, and we've going to make some changes to the show. Hopefully, when we come back in 2 weeks' time, you will all notice the difference, and we'll all go, wow, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. So we're going to take a break for the next 2 weeks, partly because young Joseph is not going to be able to get the interviews because it's a long way to shout from Mexico.
Yeah.
Although
maybe you brought me a megaphone.
I don't think you need one.
No, it'll be nasty.
But yeah, so
it's been nice.
Next week we.
I'll your father.
Next week. All right, now we're having a show by ourselves here, aren't we? So next week we're up against Coventry. I'm going to ask the Guru who's going to win.
Oh, do you need to ask me?
Okay, it's obvious.
Anyway.
Well, I'm obviously going to go for a Birmingham win because it's a no-brainer. Wolverhampton, have they got any meetings over the next week?
No, we've got a bit of a break now.
Okay.
The next time meeting is in 2 weeks against Swindon. Return of this meeting tonight.
That could be tasty.
Could be difficult. It's going to be a tough one. Swindon have had a good season. They can push us quite close.
And Jason Doyle goes.
They've got riders who do well at balls.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a really good meeting. There's been some great racing at Monmouth this season.
I might. You know what? I might come up and watch that one. I might. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because that sounds like a tasty meeting. Unless Sky change when it's on and put it on the box, which you would think that would be a meeting they'd want to show.
Yeah.
But anyway, there you go. Right, well, thank you very much, everybody, for your contributions tonight. We've had, I can't believe how quick the time has gone, hasn't it?
We need longer, don't we? So.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can stay awake for any longer. But yeah, maybe, well, you never know. That might be something we look at in 2 weeks' time. Everybody take care. Up the Brummies, Wolverhampton, okay.
Always drink the lemonade. Always dodge the hand grenades. You know you better get a few. The world's a rolling, rolling on. It's easy just to be a fool. For every tip can be a jewel. Just polish every bit of it. The world's a rolling, rolling on. The future's still ahead of you. are